always loved me most when I was uncertain, when my confidence sat behind closed curtains, when I looked to you to define what was real, instead of trusting my own mind to feel. You love me softer in the worst kind of way, not gentle, just easier to persuade, easier to guilt, easier to bend, easier to keep emotionally dependent. Every time I started finding my ground, you say something subtle to pull me back down. A joke about my dreams, a sigh at my growth. Little things designed to weaken me slow. And I kept confusing control with care, because manipulation doesn't always announce itself. That sometimes it sounds like I just want what's best, while quietly placing weight on your chest. The stronger I became, the colder you grew, like my healing was threatening something in you. And I finally understand what I couldn't see then. You needed my weakness to feel like you could win. You needed me broken to stay, needed my self-worth out of the way, needed me doubting my own mind, so I never realized what love should feel like. You needed me tired, afraid, confused, small enough to keep choosing you. But now I see through everything you made. You didn't want love, you wanted someone easier to control and persuade. Oh, every time I started standing tall, you found a way to make me feel small. Oh, but broken people eventually see who benefits from their fragility. Hey, you praise my loyalty when it looked like silence, when I tolerate emotional violence, when I stayed after nights that should have ended us, because my fear of leaving was bigger than trust. You called me safe when I stopped asking questions, when I abandoned my own perceptions, when I let your moods decide my worth, and carried your chaos like emotional work. I became careful with every success, because confidence seemed to make you love me less. And every time I glow too bright, you found a reason to dim my light. I didn't notice it at first, how deep it ran, how control can disguise itself as a helping hand, until I realized love shouldn't demand that I stay wounded just to be understood by someone. You were comfortable when I couldn't see how much of myself I had buried beneath. But healing changes the way truth appears, and suddenly manipulation becomes clear. You needed me broken to stay, needed my self-worth out of the way, needed me doubting my own mind, so I never realized what love should feel like. You needed me tired, afraid, confused, small enough to keep choosing you. But now I see through everything you made. You didn't want love, you wanted someone easier to control and persuade. I remember the guilt that lived in my chest every time I tried choosing myself instead, like protecting my peace was somehow betrayal, and freedom and emotional failure. You trained me slowly to fear my own growth, to associate distance with losing us both. So I stayed smaller than I needed to be, just to keep you emotionally close to me. But people who truly love you don't panic when you become stronger, clearer, more grounded. They don't punish your healing or resent your voice. They don't fear what happens when you finally have choice, and that realization shatters something deep. All the illusions I struggle to keep, because I saw how your affection changed shape whenever I stopped being easy to manipulate. I'm not hard to love, because I learned my worth. You just lost control the moment I returned to the parts of me you try to erase, the parts that no longer beg for a place. You called it distance, attitude, pride, but it was just me finally standing upright. And you hated every inch of my healing, because control dies when someone starts believing in themselves again. Now I look back with clearer confused survival with devotion for years. Mistook anxiety for love mixed with fear. But real love doesn't require collapse, doesn't thrive with self-respect cracks. So now I'm rebuilding without your voice. Learning peace is a day choice. Learning my softness was never weak, that my boundaries don't make me hard to keep. I'm no longer apologizing for growing away from the version of me that needed you to stay. Because healing taught me something true: anyone threatened by your wholeness was never safe for you. You needed me broken to stay, needed me smaller, quieter, easier to shake, needed me disconnected from myself. So I keep placing you above my mental health. But now I see through everything you made, every guilt trip, every game you played. And I finally know what love should be: someone who grows with me, not someone who needs me weak to stay beneath them emotionless. You didn't lose me when I changed, you lost me when I realized my brokenness was never proof of love.